Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're about to begin the plenary session of the Cargo Connections Conclave 2025. The plenary session addresses the question, changing face of southern India shipping, what to expect? To discuss and deliberate on this topic and to express their views, may I request the dignitaries to come on stage. I'd like to first welcome on stage Mr. K. Mohandas, IAS, former Secretary to the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Chairman of India Seatrade. I request you to kindly come on stage, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a loud round of applause. And joining him on stage, we have Mr. Gopalakrishnan, Regional Chairman, Federation of Indian Export Organizations and Managing Director of Metro Fabrics Private Limited. Welcome, Mr. Gopalakrishnan, on stage. We also have with us Mr. Anand Mohan Mishra, ITS, Joint Director General of Foreign Trade. He's on his way and he's expected to join us any moment. We'll wait for him. The next guest on stage is Mr. K. Vijayakrishnavelan, IRS, Additional Commissioner of Customs Preventive, Tiruchirappalli. May I request you to kindly come on stage, sir. Welcome. Joining them on stage next is Mr. B. Kasiviswanathan, IRSME, Chairperson of Cochin Port Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a loud round of applause. Well, the plenary session is taking a little different turn. We do not have a moderator for the session. Each gentleman here is going to express their views on stage to address the gatherings and to talk about the topic, changing face of Southern India shipping, what to expect. First, I'd like to invite Mr. Gopalakrishnan, Regional Chairman, Federation of Indian Export Organizations. Over to you.
Mr. Vijayakrishnavelan, Mr. Mohandas, Mr. Kasiviswanathan, Mr. Anand Mohan Mishra, and the dignitaries of the dais. Good evening to everyone. It is my privilege to address this gathering as we conclude these insightful sessions of the Cargo Connection Conclave today. Over the past sessions discussions, we have explored innovative ideas, shared experiences, and envisaged a roadmap for strengthening Coimbatore's position as a vital industrial corridor and logistics hub. During these sessions, I could witness industry people, exporters, manufacturers, and the CHAs, forwarding agents and liners, port operations. So we had a lot of deliberation and very useful informations gathered by everyone. A lot of questions raised, a lot of insights shared, and we could hear some responses from the delegates to the panelists too. And as a FIEO, we have noted all the points, and for sure we will be working backward and we will take the topics to the concerned departments and we will try to give solutions for all your visions and insights. I assure you that. A country's ability to trade globally depends to a great extent on the trade's access to efficient logistics networks. The efficiency of logistics networks in its turn depends on government services, investments, and policies. Building infrastructure, developing a regulatory regime for transport services, and designing and implementing efficient customs clearances procedures are the areas where governments play an important role. Geopolitical risk and trade barriers become a normal in today's global trade. Political tensions between countries, trade wars, and economic sanctions bring in uncertainty and impact supply chains. We also seen disruption of established trade routes, restrictions on market access, and increased tariffs, which are unpredictable and seriously causing profitability of the trade, especially MSMEs. Fluctuations in international shipping rates due to fuel price volatility, capacity shortages, changing the routes, etc. are our day-to-day concerns which are reducing our competitiveness. Along with this, the need for compliance with the stringent global trade regulations due to evolving environmental, labor and sustainability regulations, including EU's carbon border adjustment mechanism, are some of the concerns of the exporters. India's success and economic growth in the future is heavily dependent on the evaluation of its logistics sector. This is essential not only for generating employment or providing broad social benefits to farmers and low-income workers, but also for competing with the rest of the world in terms of last-mile connectivity, efficient transportation, time of delivery, etc. This will give an overall boost to India's image as an attractive investment destination and facilitate India's manufacturing export performance, and the government programs encouraging manufacturing has put the country in a unique position. In the current fast evolving post-pandemic scenario, as global companies adapt their manufacturing and supply chain strategies to build resilience, India has been able to capture a unique opportunity to become a global manufacturing hub. The country has three primary assets to capitalize on this: the potential for significant domestic demand, the government's drive to encourage manufacturing, and a distinct demographic edge, which include a considerable proportion of young workforce. A thriving manufacturing sector could potentially be the most critical building block for India's economic growth and prosperity in the coming decade. The ongoing post-COVID rebalancing of global value chains offers India's government and business leaders a unique opportunity to transform and accelerate the trajectory of manufacturing sector. When we look at our domestic issues, if Coimbatore is to fully realize its potential as a national and global industrial corridor, robust cargo and logistic infrastructure will be critical. Efficient cargo movement is not just a necessity, but a catalyst for competitive manufacturing and sustainable growth. In this regard, I wanted to appreciate our government for taking several personal initiatives to support industries, seamless multimodal logistics, combining road, rail, air, and port connectivity. The projects like the Chennai-Bangalore Industrial Corridor will provide Coimbatore access to international trade routes and reduce logistics cost significantly. Tamil Nadu government also prioritizing the development of eco-friendly logistics practices, bringing the investments in electric vehicles, renewable energy, powered warehouses, and sustainable packaging practices, etc., which will enable Coimbatore to align with global green trade expectations. As we envision Coimbatore becoming a thriving industrial corridor, it must also position itself as a global supply chain hub for both domestic and international markets. With its entrepreneurial spirit and a strong industrial base, Coimbatore can emerge as a model for sustainable and tech-driven industrial logistics. Let us move forward from this conclave with a renewed sense of purpose. Together, industry, government, and stakeholders, we can build an integrated logistics ecosystem that drives on growth, create jobs, and places Coimbatore on the world map as a premier industrial and cargo hub. Thank you all for your valuable connections and insights throughout this conclave. Wishing you all continued success and progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sri Gopalakrishnan. We'll move on to our next guest on stage. May I request Mr. K. Vijayakrishnavelan, IRS Additional Commissioner of Customs Preventive, Tiruchirappalli, to kindly address the audience.
Sri Gopalakrishnan, Regional Chairman, FIEO and MD, Metro Fabrics. Sri Mohandas IAS, Chairman, Indian Seatrade. Sri B. Kasiviswanathan, Chairperson, Cochin Port Trust. My dear colleague Anand Mohan Mishra ji, Joint Director, DGFT. And all the dear colleagues, exporters, members and office holders of FIEO. It's a great privilege to be here today, addressing an association that plays such a vital role in the growth and prosperity of our economy. As exporters, your contribution go far beyond the borders of our nation. Let me briefly introduce the Tiruchi Customs Formation. We have the jurisdiction over Tuticorin Port, along with 17 container freight stations and 1 ICD, and 6 more ICDs of Tiruchi Customs Zone. We have 3 ports over and above this, Nagapattinam, Kadalur and Karaikal. We have air cargo complexes of Tiruchi, Coimbatore and Madurai, and 3 airports of Tiruchi, Coimbatore and Madurai. We understand that efficiency and transparent customs procedures are essential to your success. Delays, complex regulations, and trade barriers can hinder your ability to meet deadlines and satisfy your international clients. That's why we are committed to providing the support you need to streamline your processes and ensure your goods move swiftly and securely across borders. I am pleased to assure you that Customs is actively working to enhance the services available to the exporters, from simplifying paperwork, improving digital platforms, and ensuring compliance with international standards. To provide clear, real-time updates on procedures, we are dedicated to making your experience as smooth and efficient as possible. We are also closely working with industry leaders and stakeholders to identify potential challenges and opportunities for improvement in customs operations. Your feedback and insights are vital in helping us create solutions that cater to your specific needs, reduce bottlenecks, and ultimately strengthen your competitiveness on the global stage. Just yesterday, we had a meeting with AEPC in Tirupur, wherein we have proposed to create a document that will be a pain point of all the issues faced by the exporters. We are preparing a very, very elaborate SOP on all the issues that will be likely to be faced by an exporter, like drawback, refund, ROSCTL, RODTEP, etc. We already have direct port delivery operational in the VOC Port Trust in Tuticorin. We are soon going to inaugurate direct port entry for export containers also. Right now we are facing some infrastructure bottlenecks. We are working real time to get it resolved, and we'll soon be implementing that. And with great privilege, I announce that we are going to launch trade facilitation post portal exclusively for the exporters and importers of Coimbatore and Tirupur region. This will be launching next month. This will act as an interface between various offices of CBIC and other agencies with exporters and other stakeholders. This will resolve long pending specific issues faced by the exporters concerning individual exporters. It will focus on hassle-free export processing. This will be a portal that will handhold exporters on system-related changes. This will resolve any operational bottlenecks at gateway ports. This will facilitate timely receipt of export benefits to all exporters. We are proposing to bring in drawback, refund-related issues, ROSCTL, RODTEP, export-import issues, any DGFT-related issues, because we are planning to partner with all partner government agencies, banks and other agencies. This will act like a single window portal. There will be an escalation matrix. Once the exporter logs a complaint by logging into the portal, the resolution will be attempted within a week. If it is not attempted, after the week it will be forwarded to the higher authority. Beyond a month, this will be monitored by the Chief Commissioner of the zone. Let me also invite your attention to the Authorized Economic Operator Program that we introduced in 2011. As you all know, this enables Customs Administration to identify the safe and compliant business entities in order to provide them a higher degree of assured facilitation. The aim of AEO is to secure the international supply chain by granting recognition to reliable operators and encouraging best practices at all levels in the international supply chain. Providing business entities with an internationally recognized certification, to recognize business entities as secure and reliable trading partners, to incentivize business entities through defined benefits that translate into savings in time and cost, secure supply chain from point of export to import, reduction in dwell time and related costs. As you are all aware, this is a 3-tier structure with the increasing degree of benefits in the tiers. They will be allowed to access direct port delivery for import containers, direct port entry for export containers, deferred payment option will be available for AEOs, faster dispersal of drawbacks, fast tracking of refunds and adjudication. All the exporters, importers, logistic providers, carriers, airlines, freight forwarders, custodians, terminal operators, CHAs, anybody can apply for it. We do conduct permanent trade facilitation committee meeting every month at the level of commissionerate, where all stakeholders participate. And we do conduct a customs clearance facilitation committee, which is chaired by the chief commissioner of the zone. With these few words, I would like to assure you once again that our goal is not just to meet your expectation, but to exceed them. We are fully committed to ensuring that customs is an enabler of your success, not a hurdle. Thank you once again for your contribution to our economy and for your ongoing trust in our systems. We will continue to stand by you, providing the customs support and collaboration needed for you to thrive in the global market. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'd now like to invite Mr. Anand Mohan Mishra, ITS Joint Director General of Foreign Trade, to address the gathering.
Respected Gopalakrishnan ji, FIEO, Regional Chairman FIEO, respected seniors, K. Mohandas sir, K. Vijayakrishnavelan sir, B. Kasiviswanathan sir, and members of FIEO and dear members of exporting community. It's my pleasure and honor to be here. And I think it's a very, very timely conducted session on logistics. As we grow in economy and in exports, logistics basically forms part of vein system of economy. So if we want to achieve GDP of US $5.5 trillion by 2027, or we want to achieve the export target of $1 trillion by 23, then the logistics is one thing which is going to be most required at that stage. Today, India is 15th largest exporter in the world, with share of 1.8% of global merchandise export. In terms of US dollar, it comes around 437.10 billion US dollar. But if we compare ourselves with China, China nearly constitutes 16.1% of global merchandise trade. So basically it means there is a lot of headroom for us to grow, and especially post-COVID, as it was pointed out, that world has realized that they need to find out alternate sources of manufacturing, and they need to realign their global value chains. So in that context, India becomes very prominent source of manufacturing and as an alternative partner. Tamil Nadu today is third largest exporter in terms of merchandise after Gujarat and Maharashtra. And if we come to Coimbatore specifically, so once known as Manchester of South India, and mainly meaning that we are very strong in textile. Today we have diversified into engineering and manufacturing sector, precision parts, auto components, pump manufacturing, valves and aerospace products. As government is focusing more towards technology-driven export, so Coimbatore has a very bright future. So in terms of diversification, it also poses a challenge in terms of how logistics is provided. So when we talk about logistics, logistics basically means 7 R's. Right product needs to reach in right quantity, in right condition, to right place, to right customer, at right price and right time. So these 7 R's are very critical for logistics. Any modern logistics needs to address diverse needs. What I mean by diverse need is that we have product like textile, we have product like engineering sector, we have agriculture products. All of them have different and diverse warehousing facility requirement, kind of freight requirement, and these things. So any logistics improvement needs to address all the diverse needs of different products. It needs to be efficient, it requires to be efficient in terms of cost, it requires to be efficient in terms of less turnaround time. Also with coming up of technology, real-time tracking and data-based decision making also becomes critical for a efficient logistics service. But if we consider today, there have been a lot of initiatives which I will talk about in some time, but if we consider what is the current scenario today, then there are various infrastructural bottlenecks which we can recognize. For example, road conditions, ports are a little bit congested because of load, and inadequate railway connectivity or the last mile connectivity we can talk about. According to World Bank Logistics Performance Index, we are currently 38th out of 139 countries. So there is still like lot of space to grow. So infrastructural bottlenecks basically leads into delay, wastage, and higher cost. So these kind of inefficiencies needs to be removed. When we talk about logistics sector as such, there are various players, and nearly 90% of logistics sector today is unorganized. It is highly fragmented. So there is a lot of scope of consolidation, and also which will bring efficiency and also standardization. When there are a lot of players, there is lack of standardization also. Despite various efforts, still multimodal logistics service is still little far away from us. Though there have been various initiatives, but we need to move towards efficient multimodal transport system. Today, road constitute nearly 60% of our freight. The component of rail has really come down. But if we see globally in terms, if we compare ourselves with China, so rail there constitute much higher than what it constitutes here. Similarly, waterways have to be, the contribution of waterways in terms of freight also needs to be increased. There is also a lot of scope for promotion and adoption of technology, because it will provide us a better decision-making ability. GPS tracking, advanced analytics, AI, IoT, and blockchains are other initiatives in terms of technology which can be adopted for better logistics management. There have been various initiatives taken by Government of India. For example, under Department of Commerce, there is separate logistics division. For example, PM Gati Shakti Yojana have been launched in 2021 and there is a collaboration between state and center to unite all the various initiatives taken under logistics under one roof. In this budget, Finance Minister announced that certain data and maps from PM Gati Shakti portal will be shared with private sector so that they can optimize last mile delivery and also develop infrastructure-based application. National Logistics Policy 2022 aims to cut down the logistics cost by half by 2023. You would be glad to know that all DGFTs, RAs or regional offices have been instructed to create a logistics division. In our RA Coimbatore also we have a logistics division, and any logistics related challenges can be shared and it will be taken up with the higher authorities. Also, I would like to point out there are other ministries which are also, like you have already heard from Customs, Railways, and you will come to know that Department of Post, for example, have decentralized their processing. So what they have done is that they have made each district as nodal hub for export under their Dagghar Niryat Kendra. So now nobody needs to go to foreign post office, rather you can approach your district post office for export also. So government is taking various initiatives. However, as a developing country, we are still far away from achieving the target. But the right steps are being taken to achieve such target. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Mr. B. Kasiviswanathan, IRSME Chairperson of Cochin Port Authority, to address the gathering.
Sri Mohandas, Regional Chairman Seatrade, Sri Gopalakrishnan, Sri Anand Mohan Mishra, Sri Vijayakrishnavelan, and trade and participants from industries and various logistic chain stakeholders. A warm good evening to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to be amongst you and as a part of this exciting conversation on envisioning Coimbatore as an industrial corridor. Coimbatore, with its remarkable industrial history, is already an engine of economic growth in Tamil Nadu, next to Chennai. And the idea of positioning it as an industrial corridor is an inspiring vision by the organizers. Coimbatore is the place where I grew up during my technical curriculum as a student of Government College of Technology, the institute which was established by none other than G.D. Naidu, the founder of Industrial Revolution in Coimbatore. So, on this soil, standing before you is really an honor for me. So, the Coimbatore, as we all know, is known for innovation, known for entrepreneurship, and known for risk-taking in doing business. So, we are all aware that Coimbatore is having a huge industrial environment in terms of manufacturing, in terms of engineering, procurement and tooling, automotive engineering, wet grinders and home appliances, motor and farms, aerospace and defense. In each of these fields, Coimbatore is making its own space known to the world as a player to reckon with. In making Coimbatore as an industrial corridor as a success, what is the role of ports? As we develop Coimbatore as an industrial corridor, we from the ports play a significant role as a gateway to the international trade, and it is becoming extremely critical as to how trade, transport and port together can bring down the logistic cost to make the trade economically viable and competitive. In this vision, ports are not just a logistical gateway. We are the enabler of industry, connecting Coimbatore's diverse industries to global markets and international suppliers. Our port will significantly participate in reducing the cost of transportation, overall improvement of efficiency in terms of Coimbatore's Coimbatore's supply chain for connecting the world. As a crucial aspect of transforming Coimbatore into an industrial corridor is ensuring seamless connectivity between the city and the port. Coimbatore's industrial zones has to be linked to the ports via dedicated expressway, high-capacity rail corridors. Mr. Mishra was just mentioning that our transportation through in India is about 60% through road. How we can improve the rail connectivity, make rail connectivity competitive to make the transportation through rail. It also improves the green ambience of the environment, because when you transport by road today, the pollution which creates is much higher per ton of cargo that is transported. So we need to develop the rail corridor effectively, and we are working on that to connect Coimbatore with Cochin and other ports effectively. In addition to connecting to the ports, the digital technologies has to be incorporated into the logistic chain, such as Internet of Things, blockchain-based supply chain management, by which we can reduce bottlenecks efficiently, ensure better tracking, and provide real-time updates. These modern technologies, when paired with the physical infrastructure improvements, will establish Coimbatore as a state-of-the-art industrial corridor. Cochin Port, being at the strategic location on the Arabian Sea, offers significant advantages to the Coimbatore trade. Being a part of the International North-South Transport Corridor, INSTC, the port enables easier access to the markets in Europe, Central Asia, and Russia. This opens up the opportunity for Coimbatore-based industries, particularly in sectors like automotive, engineering, textiles, wire, and electronics. The Cochin Port's terminal facilities in container, bulk cargo, and liquid caters to a wide range of products that is being dealt by Coimbatore. One of the most important aspects for the growth in the future times to come is to how do we ensure sustainable environment, sustainable manufacturing, sustainable transportation. So in that context, the industrial corridor will not just be about increasing output. It should be about embracing eco-friendly technologies, sustainable manufacturing practice. As a port, we are already seeing a shift towards green shipping. A lot of emphasis is being given on manufacturing ships with the green energy. Presently, it is on LNG is being given importance in manufacturing green ships. Future will be towards green hydrogen, methanol, and in that direction, the shipbuilding energy requirement will go on. Coimbatore has already having a very, very sound renewable energy sector by leveraging solar, wind, and bioenergy resources. Coimbatore can meet the energy demands of its industry's sustainability. The commitment to sustainability by Coimbatore manufacturing sector can enable to become Coimbatore as a global leader in renewable energy, electrical vehicle manufacturing, and green textiles. Unless we turn green, the world is giving priority for manufacturing sector which are using green energy. So Coimbatore also is in the right track to use green energy for its manufacturing process. The port sector also shares this vision on sustainability. The ports have made significant strides towards reducing environmental impact by implementing green port initiatives, including energy efficient technologies and waste management systems. By aligning industrial growth in Coimbatore with sustainable practice, we can ensure that the industrial corridor is not only an economically successful, but also ecologically responsible. The successful realization of this vision to make Coimbatore as an industrial corridor will succeed by having a collaboration among industry stakeholders, government bodies, and logistic partners. Industry leaders in Coimbatore must work together to create specialized industrial clusters to build a global supply chain network that ensures Coimbatore remain competitive in the world marketplace. At Cochin Port, we are ready and committed to supporting Coimbatore's industrial growth by providing world-class logistics solutions in our terminal and facilitating international trade. By aligning our efforts with Coimbatore industries, we can create a powerful industrial corridor that drives the future of Indian manufacturing. In conclusion, envisioning Coimbatore as an industrial corridor is not just an idea. It is a strategic vision that can propel Coimbatore in specific and Tamil Nadu in general and India in globally into a new era of industrial growth, global trade, and sustainability. I am confident that Coimbatore can achieve its full potential and emerge as a leading industrial hub that is competitive, sustainable, and globally integrated. Let us work together to turn this vision of making Coimbatore as an industrial corridor into a reality and unlock the immense opportunities that lie ahead for Coimbatore and the entire region. Thank you. Wish you all the best to have a successful trade conclave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, if any of you have any questions to be asked to any of the panelists on stage, this is the time. We can take a few questions. Do you have any questions from anyone? Please make use of the standing mics. Walk towards the mics and shoot your question. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, exporter based out of Madurai. On behalf of all industrialists and exporters from south of Tamil Nadu, question and also a curiosity. This is also a question raised by some of our customers in Russia and Europe, in Central Europe. Why is that you are not able to service through JNPT or Navasheva? While there are regular feeder vessels from Tuticorin to Colombo, we almost have a vessel every day. Fortunately, we also have 2 vessels serving Mundra, where we are able to get some mother vessel connections. Why is that we are not able to connect to JNPT or Navasheva, where there are a lot of mother vessels coming in? Is there any particular technical reason why we are not able to serve? This is one thing. And another question to respected Commissioner from Customs. Why is it, registering or anything to do with ice gate is so complicated? Like, whenever we have to go for amendment in AD codes or add additional AD codes, it has to be signed with a particular digital signature key issued by a public sector company based out of Gujarat, and then scan a bunch of documents, get it digitally signed, upload it, then it gets rejected for some unknown reason. Some person has to go physically to the customs office, get it sorted out, then sign. We regular exporters have some other alternate arrangement. We have another AD code or something where the exports can happen, but imagine the plight of a first-time customer who has to first-time exporter who has to undergo all this. Can it be made simple with the ice gate usage? And these are my two questions. Thank you.
I'll respond only to the customs part of it. I think it is only for the data security part that we are insisting on digital signatures. If you are having specific issues where this thing gets rejected, you can always bring it to our knowledge. I don't think this is a common thing that everybody who tries to log in is getting rejected.
No, recently, I think after the budget approvals, we were told that there is some work happening at the back end because all the duties and customs are also interlinked with the customs portal. So, for a long time, many of the AD code requests are kept in pending and it has not been approved. This is what I heard from my CHA and the person in Tuticorin. So, correct me if I'm wrong.
If it is within the Tiruchi customs zone, I request you to kindly through FIEO forward the issue to me.
Okay.
I'll personally look into it and we'll get it resolved. But for other formations, I cannot really comment.
Yeah.
But as far as if it is this area, I can really look into it.
Yeah. This with Tuticorin, yeah.
Please share the issue. Okay. We'll look into it. I am surprised that this is happening.
And regarding the feeder vessel connections, do we have anything?
I cannot really comment.
No,
It's
from the VOC port.
Just to supplement what Mr. Velan has told, with respect to IceGate, whatever the technical issues that we have in connecting to the IceGate portal and making it more user-friendly, the customs at the highest level, at the Additional Director General level, there is a meeting which is going to happen in the coming week to address all the issues which are linked with the IceGate to make it more user-friendly. So, and also to make the end-to-end digital portal more effective. So, I am very sure maybe in another 1 month to 2 months time, you will have a very, very trade-friendly IceGate system.
No, on this question of feeder services to JNP and Mundra, I believe there was a discussion in the first session on this very specific issue. So I'm sure some of those who spoke at that meeting in that session, in the first session, have clear ideas on why it is happening and or why the alternatives are probably more cost efficient. Primarily, I think it's basically a question of cost. Ultimately, in business, whatever is cost efficient, whatever is most convenient, that is accepted by the suppliers as well as by the others. So I think that would be the answer. I mean, I'm sorry I'm unable to give a more specific reply to that. Yes, please. Yes, please.
For why vessels are not calling this coastal connectivity not happening out of Navasheva, it's very simple. One is, as I mentioned, that there is not much of Indian flag vessels availability, number one. There are only 3 leading operators available to carry this coastal cargo. That is number one. Number two, Mundra is having a captive cargo, like Morbi is with, what is that? Tiles, and then there is rock cotton available in Gujarat. So to ply a coastal vessel, so to manage the equation, more balancing, Mundra may be their best bet when compared to Navasheva. Navasheva, there is not much of a coastal cargo generative hinterlands. I think these are the 2 reasons it is not happening. But then in future, I think now even government has come out with some, yesterday there is an article like Bharat container shipping, so that they are planning to roll out some 100 ships. So if those things happens, then there may be a solution for this. Thank you. Then again, the priority also. Anyway, but these are the three primary reasons. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So the thing is, like, if you come to Cochin, we have 5 sailings a week into Mundra. So as much as you go to Colombo, you can go to Mundra from Cochin. That's one. Second, if there's a requirement to go to, let's say for Navasheva, right? Maybe through FIEO, you can tell us how much cargo is there, which is looking to connect over Navasheva. We also have our own feeder wing, which is called Unifeeder. We can talk to them and give you a solution for Navasheva if there is enough cargo. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Anybody else? Any more questions? Okay. I'm assuming we do not have any more questions. Thank you once again. Before we wrap up, in fact, we have reached the conclusion of all sessions of this evening. To sort of wrap up the entire evening and the discussions that we've had through the evening, every topic that we covered, to wrap up all the discussions and the takeaways of the discussion and to summarize what has been discussed this evening, I'd like to invite Mr. K. Mohandas forward to address the gathering and summarize the key takeaways of this evening. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, before I speak, I would, Mr. Gopalakrishnan wants to make a brief statement.
We, everyone in this hall, looking forward to receive the Honorable Minister Senthil Balaji and to hear from him in what way he and Tamil Nadu government can support the development of Coimbatore and its industry to make it as a supply chain hub. Unfortunately, minister's meeting with the Chief Minister supposed to happen today morning. They rescheduled to evening time, so he could not take his flight and come and attend this function. So he conveyed his inability to come, and also he conveyed that Coimbatore is very close to his court, and he requested FIEO to list out the points discussed here, and he assured that he will put all the efforts to consider all the points and whatever the facility or infrastructure required to make Coimbatore a global supply chain hub, and he conveyed his wishes to everyone gathered here. That's all. I want to convey this message on behalf of the Minister. Thank you.
My friends on the dais and my dear friends in the hall. So we are reaching the close of this today's event. We started at 2 o'clock, so we must have discussed for about 5 hours on various issues. And if I attempt a summary of what was discussed, it's going to take maybe, depending on the percentage of the précis that I should be making, it would take a bit long. But then it would be unfair and unnecessary also, because I'm sure all of you here, most of you have been here right from the beginning of the first session, so that way you know what was discussed. In fact, of the various, events that have been held discussing similar issues, I would rate today's discussions as very focused, very creative, and with specific objectives. And then it also leaves an opportunity for action on ground by all those concerned. Of course, India Seatrade has a practice of noting down the important suggestions and the various issues that are being brought up, and they do take it up with the concerned authorities, whether it is state or central, or other organizations as well. Here, FIEO is an equal partner in this event, and FIEO, because of their organizational strength, would again be able to take up matters with the powers that be so that there are effective actions coming. Apart from that, one thing that has been noticed is on all the issues that have come up, there are possibilities of further action between individual institutions or companies or organizations and between associations that are relevant for various items of work. So with such an opportunity being created for future interactions, I'm sure lots of things can move forward. Now, one of the key points for discussion was about the use of port, because Coimbatore, unfortunately, does not have a coastline, does not have a port. It has to depend on Tuticorin or Vizhinjam or Kochi or Chennai or even Mundra or JNP or even any other port for their exports and imports. There is no way you can create a port here, but the use of the ports, whichever one is convenient for any particular trade, I think that use can be structured suitably. It can be worked out, the strategies, the requirements, the methodologies can all be worked out with the ports, because all the ports would definitely be wanting to help, because there is competition, but at the same time, they also collaborate in getting more business for everybody. So that is happening. Like Cochin, for example, the container terminal in Cochin, the DP World 1, which was opened officially in 2011 by the then Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, and I was Secretary Shipping at that time. And the type of infrastructure that was the road connectivity and the rail connectivity created for the Cochin port was primarily with an eye on cargo from Coimbatore. Because Kerala does not produce that much cargo for export, or does not require that much cargo for import. So Coimbatore was the obvious target destination when the Vallarpadam container terminal was opened. Vizhinjam again, now the connectivity is yet to be fully established, the land connectivity, but it's primarily a transshipment port, but land connectivity will emerge in the ensuing future. So that will again be beneficial to Coimbatore. Tuticorin, of course, has even the traditional connection with Coimbatore, so the developments in Tuticorin have been quite impressive, and they're thinking of a much bigger development in the form of the outer harbor. So all these things are happening. The road infrastructure has improved, rail connectivity, air connectivity, of course, is yet to improve, but I'm sure that will also happen. All these things will happen based on the market demand. The great thing about I don't need to speak about the strategic importance of Coimbatore as an industrial center, because all of you here know, and it has already been presented by some of the speakers. In fact, I'm sure those who know geography know that the Western Ghats separate Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And there's a big gap in the Western Ghats west of Coimbatore, which is called the Palakkad Gap. And in the Palakkad Gap, the wind blows in both directions depending on the season. And maybe because of the flow of wind in both directions, there has been not much of influence on either side. Coimbatore has maintained its influence, its character, culture, industrial culture, uninfluenced by the Kerala industrial culture. Kerala industrial culture has remained, has not been influenced by Coimbatore, although it would have liked to be influenced, but then it has changed because of passage of time, because of the the change of the concept of work as such, because of the change in the concept of trade unionism as such, Kerala has changed a lot. There has been a massive change in Kerala. So it's no longer the land of undeclared strikes or sudden lockouts or anything of that sort. So Kerala has changed, but what I was saying is that there has been no real big influence over Kerala industrial culture from Coimbatore. At the same time, while the rest of Kerala has changed by itself, in Palakkad itself, one finds lots of changes. Again, I think it must be due to some influence of the local winds, so that has been there minimally. Coimbatore, of course, industrially, educationally, it is again advanced. And when industry and education grow together, the advantages are tremendous. I don't want to dwell upon that. Well, friends, I mean, there are several things that could be done to further develop the industrial atmosphere here, to facilitate the further development of the industries here, industries and trade here. And once the public authorities, the infrastructure providers who are primarily in the public sector, once they are they are made to do what they should be doing, it is definitely possible for the industry to benefit further from all that. So overall, today has been a very, very fruitful afternoon, today's, and I'm sure all of us have benefited from the deliberations. I must thank all of you for your active interest in the event, and I do hope that positive actions come out of the interactions here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mohandas sir. Before we honor these gentlemen on stage, I'd like to make a special announcement. We would like to felicitate all our sponsors who made this evening a reality and a grand success. I request all sponsor representatives to kindly stay inside the hall, because this is a moment where we want you to come up on stage in a few minutes from now. So I request all the sponsor representatives to not walk out of the hall and kindly be seated inside. On that note, I'd like to invite on stage Mr. P.G. Nair, Commercial Director, to present a memento to the panelists on stage as a token of our love, gratitude and appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud round of applause for Mr. P.G. Nair, who is on stage. And to receive the memento, may I please request Mr. Gopalakrishnan to kindly step forward. May I request Mr. Anand Mohan Mishra, ITS Joint Director General of Foreign Trade, to kindly step forward and receive the memento. May I now request Mr. B. Kasiviswanathan to kindly step forward and accept a memento. And Mr. K. Vijayakrishnavelan, may I request you to please receive a memento on behalf of India Seatrade and FIEO. And of course, Mr. K. Mohandas, may I request you to kindly step forward and accept a memento. May I also request, all right, now I request all the panelists to kindly step forward along with Mr. P.G. Nair for a quick photograph. Ladies and gentlemen, those were the panelists of a plenary session of the Cargo Connections Conclave 2025. Thank you so much, gentlemen. May I request you to join the audience, and Mr. K. Mohandas, I request you to please stay back. So we're moving on to felicitating the sponsors. To join Mr. K. Mohandas on this occasion, I'd like to invite Mr. K. Unnikrishnan, Joint Director General of Federation of Indian Export Organizations, to kindly come on stage and join Mohandas sir to do the honors for our dear sponsors. As I call out the name of the sponsor, I request a representative to kindly come on stage. Let's give a loud round of applause for MPRS Shipping and Logistics Private Limited. May I request the representatives from MPRS Shipping and Logistics Private Limited to kindly come on stage. Thank you so much for all your support, and we look forward to your continued support in future. Thank you, MPRS. May I request the representative from Indian Oil Corporation Limited to kindly come forward to receive the memento. Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Thank you so much, Indian Oil Corporation, for all the support towards India Seatrade and FIEO. I'd like to request a sponsor representative from WinAsia Maritime Private Limited. WinAsia Maritime Private Limited to kindly come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a loud round of applause for all these sponsors. On stage, we have WinAsia Maritime Private Limited. Thank you so much for all your support. May I now invite the representatives from Chennai Port Authority to kindly walk towards the stage. Chennai Port Authority. Thank you so much for all the support, Chennai Port Authority. Our next sponsor would be VOC Port Authority. May I have the representative from VOC Port Authority to kindly proceed towards the stage. Thank you for all the support, VOC Port Authority. May I now request the representatives from Glotus to kindly proceed towards the stage. Glotus. Thank you so much for all the support, Glotus. May I now request the representatives from Hub and Links Logistics India Private Limited to kindly proceed towards the stage. Hub and Links Logistics India Private Limited. May I now request the representatives from St. John Freight Systems Limited to kindly proceed towards the stage. St. John Freight Systems Limited. Thanking you for all the support. May I now request Triway Group representatives to kindly proceed towards the stage. Triway Group. Thank you so much for all your support, Triway Group. May I now request the representatives of Seven Seas Global Express Logistics to kindly proceed towards the stage. Seven Seas Global Express Logistics. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the hunger bells have started ringing, but that should not stop you from giving them a loud round of applause. May I please request you to applaud everyone who comes on stage. Thank you so much for that. May I now request the representatives from Tripath Logistics Private Limited to kindly come forward. Thank you. Can we have a loud round of applause for Tripath Logistics Private Limited? May I now request the representatives from Dakshin Bharat Gateways Terminal to kindly come forward to receive a memento as a token of our gratitude. Dakshin Bharat Gateways Terminal. Yes, we have Dakshin Bharat Gateways Terminal walking up on stage. Thank you so much for all the support. May I now request the representatives from Chakyat Agencies Private Limited to kindly proceed towards the stage. Chakyat Agencies Private Limited. Can we hear a loud round of applause for Chakyat Agencies Private Limited? And may also request the representatives from JM Baxi Ports and Terminals to kindly proceed towards the stage. Thank you so much, JM Baxi Ports and Terminals, for your support towards the organizers. May I request the representatives from Glow Shipping and Logistics Private Limited to kindly proceed towards the stage. Glow Shipping and Logistics Private Limited. May I request the representatives from Team Global Logistics Private Limited to kindly proceed towards the stage. Team Global Logistics Private Limited. Team Global Logistics Private Limited. Thank you so much for all your support. May I now request the representatives from TriStar Logistics Private Limited to kindly proceed towards the stage. TriStar Logistics Private Limited. Gentle reminder for the applause, ladies and gentlemen. A loud round of applause for all the sponsors. TriStar Logistics Private Limited. May I request the representatives from APPL Container Private Limited to proceed towards the stage. APPL Container Private Limited. Do we have the representatives from APPL Container Private Limited? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us, and thank you for all your support. Our next sponsor on stage is Shri Shipping Services Private Limited. Welcome, sir, and thank you for the support. Shri Shipping Services Private Limited. Our next sponsor on stage, Fumigation Services Private Limited. May I request the representatives from Fumigation Services Private Limited to kindly come on stage. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for your support towards this program. May I now request the representatives from Royal Tech Systems to kindly proceed towards the stage. Royal Tech Systems. Royal Tech Systems. We have the representatives from Royal Tech Systems joining us on stage shortly. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the next token of gratitude and appreciation is for an organization that has been providing long-standing support, goodwill, and has been a pillar of strength for India Seatrade for all its activities and all its programs. I'm talking about Federation of Indian Export Organization, and we would definitely like to appreciate FIEO from the bottom of our hearts for their goodwill and long-standing association with India Seatrade. May I request Mohandas sir to hand over a memento to Unnikrishnan sir and Gopalakrishnan sir, both of them. Thank you so much for all your support. This is an appreciation and gratitude from the bottom of our hearts to Federation of Indian Export Organizations. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud round of applause. Thank you, Gopalakrishnan sir. Thank you. A loud round of applause for all our sponsors without whom this evening would never have been possible. Thank you, Mohandas sir, for doing the honors. And may I request Unnikrishnan sir to propose a vote of thanks to the audience.
Very good evening. Distinguished guests, respected speakers, esteemed industry leaders, and participants. On behalf of FIEO and India Seatrade, it's my privilege to extend a heartfelt gratitude to all of you and each one of you for being part of this insightful and impactful cargo connection. First and foremost, I express my sincere thanks to all senior officials present here today in this session and gracing this occasion and sparing their valuable time and expressing their visionary perspectives in shaping future of Coimbatore. I thank Shri Mohandas ji, India Seatrade, Shri Gopalakrishnan, Regional Chairman FIEO, Mr. Kasiviswanathan, Chairperson, Cochin Port, Mr. Anand Mohan Mishra, Joint DGFT, Coimbatore, Shri Vijayakrishnavelan, Additional Commissioner of Customs, for highlighting meaningful points related to cargo and logistic industry. To our distinguished panelists of other two sessions, your thought-provoking, insightful speeches offered us a deeper understanding of evolving cargo landscape, emerging technological trends, sustainability challenges, and global market dynamics. Your expertise has added immense value to today's discussion. A special acknowledge to sponsors and partners who have generously supported this event. Your collaborations has played a vital role in making this event possible and successful. And especially for the team led by Mr. Sudhir and my FIEO team from Swaminathan and his team, and supporting staff, technical teams. Your dedication and meticulous planning ensured seamless and enriching experience for everyone present today. To Deepa, your energy and ability to engage audience truly elevated this today's seminar. Finally, to our audience, thank you for your active engagement, insightful questions, and commitment to advancing cargo connection ecosystem. As we closing today's conclave, I am confident that the connection made and knowledge we shared will pave a way for continued growth and innovation with the cargo and logistics sector. Wishing everyone a safe travel, and thank you once again for being part of this conclave. Thank you very much.